Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is the Metropolitan Action Commission and the Head Start program. And we're fortunate to have with us to talk about the Metropolitan Action Commission and the Head Start program two persons. CCroom, who is the Executive Director of the Metropolitan Action Commission, and with Ms. Croom is Ms. Pamela Matthews, who is the Interim Head Start Director for the Metropolitan Action Commission. And of course, Ms. Croom and Ms. Matthews, let me welcome both of you to the show this morning.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much.
And we're very delighted to have the two of you with us. Let's see, Ms. Croom, if we can start off by having you and later Ms. Matthews to give us some information about your background, your education, and some of the things that were important in both of your experiences in bringing you to where we are today. Let's start with you, Ms. Croom, to have you to talk about your background and how you eventually became the Executive Director for the Metropolitan Action Commission.
Well, I'd like to start with my background by saying that I grew up in Florence, Alabama, not too far from here in Tennessee, but went to college in the Illinois area in Chicago, where I received both my bachelor's degree and my master's degree. And then later decided that I wanted to return to the South, and Tennessee, Nashville in particular, is an incredible growing city, and that's where I decided to make my home. I also want to share with you that my road to becoming the Executive Director included starting my education as a Head Start student in the early or late 1960s in Alabama. So I am a product of Head Start as well. In terms of my other background, during my time in Chicago, I served as Director of Child Development for a community-based organization there, and really gained most of my knowledge about working with children and the importance of children and community-based work during that time. Lived in the Chicago area for about 17 years. When I moved to Nashville, which was in 1997, I moved here as the Chief of Planning for the Tennessee Housing Development Agency. And it was from that position that I became the Executive Director of Metropolitan Action Commission.
Very good. And of course, Ms. Matthews, let's talk about you as the Interim Director of the Head Start program. Let's get some information about your background and how you became the Interim Director.
Well, I guess I began the tenure with Head Start as a Head Start parent. My oldest child was enrolled in the Head Start program, and from there, of course, I became employed with the program. However, I did receive my BS from Middle Tennessee State University in Murfreesboro and my master's degree from Alabama A&M. And like Mrs. Croom, Chicago was my home for a while. However, I couldn't stay there nearly as long as she did. I stayed for a couple of years and quickly came back to Tennessee, which has been my home. As I said, I have been with Head Start for 20 years nearly, and have served as the health coordinator and mental health coordinator until our illustrious director retired in December. And waiting for someone else to take the helm, I accepted the responsibility to share in trying to keep Head Start going while we got someone hired. So but that's where we are right now.
Very good. And of course, Ms. Croom, let's have you and Ms. Matthews to talk about the two programs that we're really interested in today, and that is the Metropolitan Action Commission itself and of course Head Start as well. Let's have you to give us some information over the last couple of minutes that we have before our first commercial break. Give us sort of an overlay, an outline of what you do at the Metropolitan Action Commission in about a minute and a half.
Okay. The Metropolitan Action Commission is a community-based organization. Actually, it's a community action agency, and there are several agencies like us throughout the country. Currently, I serve of our Tennessee Association of Community Action Agencies. But it's agencies that's really formed to be a part of the community to help persons reach self-sufficiency. But we do that by providing some emergency services, for example, with heating and rent, utility assistance. But in addition to that, we work with families and with children to help them get a head start with school readiness.
And so the Metropolitan Action Commission is really involved in all kinds of social aspects of it. Now, what about Ms. Matthews? Give us, over the last minute we have here before our first commercial break, give us some statements in reference to Head Start.
Well, Head Start, of course, was incepted with the War on Poverty in '65, and it is a premier child development program with service components that include health, social services, parent involvement, nutrition, and not to mention education, which has been in the news quite a bit lately. So as a result of that, we do believe that parents are the children's first teachers, and we do enlist parent support and parent volunteerism in the program. And we think that we have a strong program. We know we do, and are interested in making the best services available for the 1,485 children that we serve here in the Nashville-Davidson County area.
Very good. And you know, as we make preparations for our first commercial break, I think both of you are involved in a very, very important organization here, the Metropolitan Action Commission. And when we come back for our second segment, we'll talk about that aspect of it. We'll be with our audience following this very, very short.
Something that used to make you